Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of the TikTok Shop Insiders podcast. You have your host, me, Ivan, and my friend Pat, talking all things TikTok Shop, the latest and greatest in strategies and news and tips around the TikTok Shop atmosphere. Hey, Pat, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. It's been a busy week for us for sure, and a lot of news to cover.
Yeah, love it, love it. All right, yeah, great segue into our first topic, TikTok Shop ban. So, this is the latest, news in the last week. Pat, I'll let you summarize it. You're kind of been into it pretty deep.
Yeah, so this past Wednesday, the Congress had passed a bill that basically forces ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, to sell to a non-Chinese company, essentially. Proponents of the ban are basically pushing up concerns that the Chinese government has access to the data from TikTok to U.S. users, essentially. While TikTok is arguing that they've basically claimed that they wall off the U.S. data. So there's both sides to that story. So it passes Congress. Next step is it has to go the bill has to go through the Senate, where it has to pass with 60 votes instead of a simple majority. So it's got a bit of an uphill battle to climb within the Senate. So the likelihood it's going to pass the Senate is probably not too high. And even if it does, so once it passes the Senate, essentially ByteDance would have 6 months to sell off TikTok. But likely there's going to be a lot more, litigation involved afterwards that's going to tie it up. So we probably won't see an actual ban of TikTok at the earliest, maybe early next year at the earliest, I would imagine.
Yeah. So huge news, but at the end of the day, after you unpack everything, there's maybe not much to worry about. There's essentially a whole year of kind of continuing as we've been continuing. And then something that I like to think about in this is, so we have the year of TikTok Shop and it's going well. Well, we have this next year and other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts will start to create their own version of shops, or they've already created it already in Meta, but now they're going to start rolling it out to the wider audience. We're doing some Meta shop work right now, and it's just around the corner before it kind of goes out to the public. So don't fret. I think there's still, I think underlying the biggest thing here is that social media marketing is here to stay. And the way it exists in TikTok Shop is here to stay. Is whether it's in TikTok or other platforms, it's where it's going to be. But at the same time, you still have a whole year, and hopefully this will all get resolved. Best case scenario is that someone swoops in and buys TikTok from ByteDance. May it be Elon Musk getting into the e-commerce space, or a Microsoft, Bill Gates. They don't have a social media platform, or even a Google. They don't have a social media platform. So like a lot of big possibilities that could happen for TikTok. So I wouldn't get too worried, but it definitely kept me up a couple nights this week. So.
Yeah, I mean, it shook up the world. Anybody who's doing affiliate marketing on TikTok Shop definitely had their eyes open a little bit wider. But we've got time, and like you mentioned, TikTok Shop has made such a big splash that the other U.S. tech-based companies can't ignore it. So you're probably right; they're going to follow suit very soon.
Right. All right. So up next, I wanted to talk a little bit on the affiliate side of things, and have conversations with affiliates all the time and some of their successes and things that are working for them. And one thing I noted this week talking with some is asking for more commissions from brands, right? So in their inbox, they get thousands and thousands of messages a day from brands, all sizes, offering 5% commission to 50% commission. And they don't know what's good from bad. And they have thousands and thousands of these messages, right? And someone that I talked to, which her strategy is just asking for more commissions, right? So she has a high demand, getting messages. Well, let's just see if I can raise my price. So what that looks like is the brand will message her, hey, do you want to promote my product? And she's a pretty seasoned affiliate, and she'll say, well, I have all these sales, I have all these commissions, I love your brand, I think I can sell it very well. How about you raise my commission from 20% to 30%? I would love to do it at that point. And essentially, as they are spamming you, you can have a response to spam, all these brands. And, more often than not, you're going to get, or not more often than not, but sometimes you're going to get a brand that is willing to pay you more, which is all in all better, right? So yeah, what do you think about that? I know, Pat, your wife is doing some commission affiliate stuff. So what do you think she would?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely real. She's getting bombarded with messages to the point where she can't like even get to the bottom of all her messages, trying to scroll through all of them in her inbox. So the affiliates definitely have the advantage there, especially as brands struggle to get responses from people, creators that they're reaching out to. So the fact that they get a response from a creator already catches their eye, and then the creator themselves will have the advantage of asking for more commissions if that brand really wants to engage. Especially the creators who have content that have been proven, works out well, they sell well. You can just put that in front of the brand and be like, hey, I'm selling this much. I deserve this much. What are your thoughts? If not, then you can, the creators have hundreds, thousands of other brands to choose from. So ball's in their court.
100%. Doesn't hurt to ask. That's what I teach my kids, at least. Doesn't hurt to ask if you want something.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, up next, wanted to touch on a LinkedIn post that I just posted a little bit ago. I think super impactful as we look at the whole scope of TikTok Shop in America, and just being pretty infant stages, couple months old. But the headline is Vietnam ditched their Amazon for TikTok Shop. Is the US next? Brands, let's wake up. So essentially, the summary of this is US TikTok Shop launched in September 2023. And across Europe and Asia, TikTok Shop has been alive and kicking for almost 2 years now. And in Vietnam, their equivalent of Amazon, it's called Lazada. It's a Alibaba company, was the #1 e-commerce platform, just like Amazon here. And TikTok Shop has surpassed Lazada in GMV, gross merchandise value, in Vietnam. So that's kind of crazy. It's essentially saying TikTok Shop is going to be 50-50 with Amazon in a couple of years, which is insane to believe. And I believe it just because of the ease and use and affiliate and virality aspect of it. So yeah, this is kind of super optimistic, and just the possibilities are kind of endless for us. And we saw that, and that's why we created all these things around TikTok Shop, the podcast, our agency, etc. So pretty crazy how it could grow, and maybe surpass Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, they had big goals last year in 2023 to really grow their presence in Southeast Asia. So it's not surprising, that they had the penetration they've had in Vietnam and in the Philippines, like we've mentioned in the past. US is targeting, TikTok is targeting to grow their GMV to like 17.5 billion or something in the US in 2024, which is like 10x their goal of last year. And then you're going to see those efforts likely this year with like, the funded coupons and like all the shipping credits that you're seeing. They're going to just drive all these incentives within the US to do the same thing, kind of the same strategy they did in Southeast Asia last year. They're going to do it in the US this year.
Yeah, I love it. It's just going to get developed all the way around. So yeah, if you're a brand listening to this and you're not on TikTok Shop, definitely kind of take a pause and evaluate to see if it's right for you. So, reach out to us. We'll gladly kind of talk. Talk you.
I mean, from the other side too is from an Amazon side, right? Amazon has been just releasing these new fees. I'm not sure if we talked about it in the past episode, but they've raised fees for inbound, like sending shipments to Amazon FBA. We have clients that, their shipping cost to send inventory to Amazon now has like doubled or even tripled sometimes. So brands are definitely hurting on the FBA side at Amazon. So they're probably looking for other ways to drive business too. And where's the next best place that they're going to drive business? It's going to be TikTok Shop.
Of course. Yeah. I think what's great about TikTok Shop is that it integrates with existing Shopify and, ops warehouse platforms that are already made. So there's not that setup that needs to happen. Additionally, Amazon Prime was used to be known as the 2-day shipping, but it's rarely here in 2 days, or maybe less than half of my shipments are here in 2 days, and they don't even promote it anymore for 2-day shipping. So it's maybe even a level playing field, right? Or, so it's really, another reason why TikTok Shop is kind of biting away at Amazon's immense market share. So, some of the Amazon brands that we work with, they're, just super shocked at the inventory prices that they get, the inventory quotes, the fees at the end of the month. And it's kind of disheartening for the Amazon business, and, makes brands want to look around a little more, and that turns into TikTok Shop getting more eyeballs. So again, kind of like shocking, but just kind of how e-commerce works. Speaking of like the agency side, we have a TikTok Shop agency. I don't know if we mentioned it in the past, but it's called Ignite, and we just saw a lot of interest this week. Our schedules were pretty much full all week, talking with brands and seeing how TikTok Shop works for them. It was pretty great. I think a month ago, brands didn't realize TikTok Shop or didn't know it was alive, and now it's starting to pop on a lot of people's radars, and a lot of conversations are happening. So I'm glad to kind of be there to talk about it with them. But Pat, there's a couple kind of common questions that some of the brands have been asking us. So do you have a kind of insight into that?
Yeah. So, I mean, of the brands, it was kind of like perfect timing because they're starting to hear more about it. Maybe it's the TikTok ban that happened and like it's been attracting more attention. But yeah, there's definitely been a common thread of questions and issues that brands have been facing while trying to start up their TikTok Shop. First one being a lot of the Shopify to TikTok Shop integration. They've had wonky things that has happened with like, syncing their inventory, syncing their product listings correctly. Those might have been issues like in the early phases, like people, brands trying to get started up 3 months ago. TikTok Shop seems to have resolved some of those Shopify integration issues, but they're still kind of seeing them. Another thing is, when you present your product on your website through Shopify, you're not typically including your brand name at the front of your product name, right? Like as you would on Amazon, right? It would be brand and then your product name following it. So when you integrate it over from Shopify onto TikTok Shop, you're just getting the product name and not the brand. So that's one common thing that brands can, if you're doing that on TikTok Shop, make sure you're double checking your product names to include your brand name at the beginning of the product title. And then another thing as well is making sure your TikTok Shop store has a profile picture. Just because your TikTok account has a profile picture, your official TikTok account has a profile picture, it doesn't necessarily transfer over to your TikTok Shop. So you still got to make sure to include your logo or whatever it is that you want to use for your profile picture on your brand store or your TikTok Shop store to have that. Because when you send messages to creators for a collaboration, that's the one thing they'll look at to see if you're an established brand.
Yeah, one thing I'm kind of in summary here is that TikTok Shop is kind of its own entity, and you should treat it as such, right? Profile pictures, titles, bullets, etc. And you want to make sure that you're represented as best as possible on TikTok Shop, just because affiliates will accept more and people will buy more, right? So that's kind of you want to make sure that attention is on your TikTok Shop, how it looks and feels, because it is different than your regular TikTok property as well as your Shopify property. Yeah. Something that I wanted to reviews. A lot of brands didn't know that you can import your reviews from Shopify, from Yotpo to TikTok Shop, right? So this essentially gets you from 0 reviews to a couple hundred, couple thousand reviews, right? Depending on your brand. So kind of super important, that social proof, as well as, both on both sides, the affiliates and the purchasers.
Yeah, those were quick wins that we presented to, the brands that we talked to this week, and they really appreciated the value in that because it's just something you can quickly do and probably increase your conversion rates, overnight. Yeah. So they were super appreciative and kind of eye-opening a little bit, and we're super happy to give it to them. Some other issues that they've seen was that they have an existing business. They're reaching out to they have been reaching out to Instagram and TikTok creators in the traditional sense of marketing, but something they're seeing is that when they reach out to them again about TikTok Shop, these creators don't necessarily have a TikTok Shop created, or their affiliate account is not created. And so an easy win, these are already evangelists. They already have the product. They already know how to sell the product, but coaching them on how to be a TikTok Shop affiliate is a key win. It's a little bit more work, but I think it's worth it because, they have your product already. They know how to talk about it. They can create videos, etc. And they have an extra incentive to
with the affiliate commissions that they can get extra, pay for that. So that's another win that you could have with these creators.
Yeah, it was surprising to hear that these were creators that they have relationships with, like brand deals with in the past, and they were reaching out to 60, 70 or so, and we're only getting like 5 to 10 responses back. So even like the creators that they were already talking to, they didn't really get a high response rate.
Right. So you really have to sell them on the opportunity, right? And
yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, they don't know what they don't know. They're used to brand deals happening on the front end and not realizing they can make commissions by being a TikTok Shop affiliate.
Right.
Maybe we should direct them to the Affiliate Academy and teach them how to become an affiliate.
Yeah, that's a good segue. So we are working on a TikTok Shop Insiders Affiliate Academy, where essentially we teach anyone that wants to be an affiliate, don't even have to have a TikTok, don't even have to have any followers, and teach them how to be an affiliate. Go through, what are the, intermediate steps of creating an account, finding brands, etc., and then all the way to advanced steps of like how to edit, how to find editors, what are some 100 different hooks you can use, what are 100 different CTAs, and really just talked about the philosophy behind making videos and what sells, etc. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. But essentially the idea there is to Zoe, which is the influencer that we're partnered with Affiliate Academy, she started in December and has made $5,000 in affiliate commissions in a couple months. And the amazing story is that she is a newly engaged woman, and now she is funding her wedding with the money that she is making from TikTok Shop affiliates. So it's kind of like an amazing story. And we just want to share her learnings. And it's pretty much anyone can do it, right? Like the idea is that any house mom that wants to make an extra dollar can kind of join our community. We can usher them through how to be a TikTok Shop affiliate, and then off to the races. So I'm excited about that one. It's a huge thing, a huge possibility. Up next is TikTok Shop stores in LA and New York are popping up, which is kind of cool, right? And the idea there is, these kind of standstill stores will allow creators to come in, and they have great, backgrounds, tables, etc., for their products, so they could film their products, both live as well as videos that they can record. So yeah, I just think it's great, just kind of a marketplace or just a place for these influencers to go to create videos and hopefully sell better on TikTok Shop.
Yeah, I think what the creator has to do is, I think there's a link, we'll have to find it, but you can schedule basically a time to visit this TikTok Shop store, and then get I think it's 2 hours limit to get time with all the products, create your content that you need for, I think sometimes there's specific brands or specific TikTok shops that have like dedicated time and all their products, so you can like go in and do that. But it's an easy way to just create a bunch of content across a bunch of products for a certain brand, without having to buy it or deal with samples and all that stuff, and get it knocked out in 2 hours.
Right. So a piece I was missing there is that store already has products in the store. So the affiliate just needs to go into the store and make videos on those products, as well as something that this influencer said was they made B-roll. They just recorded a whole bunch of B-roll for their future videos or et cetera to use. So it's really just a place to sell product, but also like you as an affiliate, as a creator, can kind of use for your own advantage as well. So yeah, TikTok Shop space is just blowing up. And all different facets, right? So
yeah, I might have to make a trip up to LA and check one of these out so we can get like firsthand experience with it and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. We already talked about the Affiliate Academy. Something else that we've been working on is called the TikTok Shop Sellers Club. And rewinding back a little bit, about 10 years ago, I had my own Amazon private label product, grew that to 7 figures in sales, and sold that business. One of the key factors in getting to that success was a core group of 10 Amazon private label sellers that were at the same stage as me. So they were already proven sellers. They sold $1 million, and I was in multiple Amazon groups, and I put a post out that said any 7-figure sellers want to get in a group where we can talk strategy, like deeper strategy, listing optimizations, what are some PPC strategies. So it's like, yeah, and so we would just go back and forth like, hey, I tried this out, it's working, why don't you try it out? And that just continued for years. Actually, one of the people, one of my buddies in that group, just sold this past month for I'm not sure if I could say the figure, but it's a multi 7-figure deal. And it's super excited about that. But yeah, essentially that group is maybe one of the biggest reasons for the success on Amazon that I had in my early days. So essentially, all in all, I want to create the same type of group in the TikTok shop space, right? A lot of information, a lot of groups out there are very early, and how do I get set up, and that's maybe what dominates the conversation. But I want to create a group, TikTok Shop Sellers Club, that talks about high level strategies, all maybe little things that Pat and I talked about earlier, but how do we, what are some pricing strategies, what are some affiliate outreach strategies, etc. So if you're interested, definitely, what would I tell them to go to TikTokShopInsiders.com. There's going to be posts there for you. And yeah, just more kind of keep us on the radar. TikTok Shop Insiders, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. It's available. So reach out there and let me know if you're interested. So yeah, we're wrapping up on time. That concludes it for this week's episode. Again, super busy. I think we're just picking up. The interest in TikTok Shop is just ramping up, and we're here for it. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully by next episode, we'll tell you we've closed on some of these brands that we talked to this week and have more brands lined up next week, because it feels like it's just ramping up. We're at the beginning stages of it for sure.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, that concludes episode 3. Catch you next week. See ya.
Yeah.